Hello and welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 and the playthrough of the Los Angeles Codgers. I have taken over the Los Angeles Angels, not the Dodgers just because they got too much money. So we're going to go ahead and roll with the Angels. We're rolling with the old guys, and anybody who's in their 20s or early 30s, they got to get off my lawn. As we're looking at free agency, I did check the international established free agents, and none of them are old, none of them are good. So they're all like 2-star or 1.5-star guys. So not a factor this year. If we're looking at 3-star players in free agency, it is lean. There is one offensive player there, and it's Marcell Ozuna, and he wants $23 million. I've already got Giancarlo Stanton as a DH. And so we are not interested in Ozuna, although it would be nice to have that bat for sure. But we do see a ton of relievers, and they're not expensive. 3.4 million for all these guys. And, okay, Dylan Floro's not great. Kyle Finnegan is solid. Sean Armstrong is super solid and durable. So let's go ahead and immediately shortlist him. Matsey's a consideration as he's not a starter anymore. He's only got 35 stamina, so I don't trust that. And he wants 12.6. That's a little high. But yeah, we'll be able to pick up some good relievers. I might run with David Robertson just because, my gosh, age 40 and you're still looking like that, and you only want 2.6 million. That might be a good deal. Let's go ahead and shortlist David Robertson. If we sort by batters, I've already got Adam Frazier shortlisted. This is probably my super utility man. He can play competently at second and third base. Not so much shortstop probably, but there is another option for that. And he can play the outfield. So Adam Frazier is looking awesome. I wouldn't mind picking up somebody like a Brandon Belt. This would be a really good first baseman, but I will show you in a little bit. I'm not really looking for a first baseman. I've kind of overcommitted to Jose Altuve, and I'm going to have to move him to first. But we'll get into the depth chart and stuff later. Danny Hechavarria is probably going to be a backup infielder. Looking pretty good. So I'll be looking for a backup outfielder, somebody like a Jake Marisnick. In fact, let's just shortlist him right now. And yeah, it's not amazing. I don't see anybody super jumping out at me for most of these positions, but Andrew McCutchen, I'd love to work him onto this team. I just don't have anywhere I can put him. The logical thing would be to put him at first base, I guess, but again, that's going to be Altuve territory. Miguel Rojas is certainly going to be my starting shortstop. He's going to cost $9.5 million. We can swing that. And then Miggy Taylor is going to be playing center field for us, and it's not even close. He's the best choice available. Colton Wong was another consideration for a utility man. So if we have to go with like Adam Frazier and Colton Wong and then Hechavarria as our backups, I think that would actually be really good. And I did also like Taylor Motter, though, because he's got these great infield ratings, and he can very competently back up third base or even start at third base if we don't get a third baseman. So yeah, speaking of third base, so Marcus Semien, he's a second baseman, folks. Let's face it, that's really all he is. He could probably still play short reasonably well too, but I don't want him at third. He can play it if I absolutely have to have him do it. I just didn't have anywhere to put Altuve, and I've really committed to him. I've traded away a lot to get that contract 85% retained. And so we are Altuve stans going forward. But I'm going to have to put him at first base. And that will allow Marcus Semien's defense to slot over into second base. We're going to put Miguel Rojas at short. Third base is an open question. I'll show you what I've got in mind for that. It's pretty spicy. Center field is going to be Miggy Taylor. And then I talked about the backup outfielders. Giancarlo Stanton at DH, Tom Murphy behind the plate, along with either Travis d'Arnaud or Higgy. So let us go into the trading screen. And we got a couple good ones cooked up. I did have a few players left over that I could use as trade chips. And we're going straight to the Cardinals and Nolan Arenado. This one's tough, man. We're giving up Matthew Lugo, Oswald Peraza, a couple of... These are all three very solid pitching prospects. Even though Ryan Johnson says he's 2 stars, this is a very good prospect in my experience. And also Kavan Biggio, who is my AAA captain. He's 30, so there's not... It would be nice to keep him around because he's 30, but it's going to be a few years before he could play for us, so we're not too worried about that. But that is a lot to give up. And getting Nolan Arenado only 20% retained. And the reason they love him so much is because look at that cheap contract. On the other hand, him being on a really cheap contract is good for us. So we are going to go ahead and complete this deal. Welcome, Nolan Arenado. And we have one more big deal to make. I had to get rid of Caden Dana, Robert Stevenson, and then also prospect Joshua Lugo, who seems to be rising in the minds of pretty much every team out there. I don't get it. OSA thinks he's a little better than I do. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and cash in that value right now while he's on a high. We're getting James Tyone fully retained. As a starter, he's good enough. Good stamina, great control, really good BABIP. So, yeah, the movement and home runs allowed is not going to be great, but I think the control will sort of make up for that, and he's probably going to be our 5th starter. Dixon Machado, who is a suitable backup player. He's got, let's see, he's got decent outfield ratings to go along with pretty good infield ratings. And finally, this is the real reason we're doing this deal. If you can't see it, I'll put another player up there. $30 million in cash in our pocket. And that is really going to help us. It's going to allow us to beef up our development and scouting budget. It's going to allow us a little better draft budget. And it's also going to allow us to maybe sign an extra free agent that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to. So there we go. James Tyone, welcome to the Los Angeles Codgers. Y'all get off my lawn. I've made my first round of free agent contract offers. I'll start with the most expensive annual and go down from there. Miggy Taylor is going to be my center fielder, like I said before. These are some pretty solid ratings, although I'm not loving what's happening with that avoid Ks. He wants 9.5 per year, as does Miguel Rojas. And I've got 2 guys with the nickname of Miggy, so that's always good. Adam Frazier is going to be making $6 million a year to be a backup player. I assume he's going to get a lot of playing time, and so I need him to be versatile. He is versatile. He's got a good bat. He can even run a little bit still, unlike most guys on my team. So that's great. Adam Frazier will be a welcome addition. Colton Wong is a backup. It's going to take $2.2 million a year for 2 years. Adam Frazier I'm signing for 3 years because I think he's going to be a more integral piece. But Colton Wong is great. He's got these really nice outfield ratings. I mean, 65 range, perfect. Love it. So he's a good super utility man. For relievers, the 40-year-old David Robertson, we're going to give him a try. I think he still looks good. He still throws hard. He's smart. He's got good enough control. His individual pitches are excellent. And I like that he's got that knuckle curve. Slider cutter knuckle curve, I think, is a decent enough mix. Sean Armstrong, solid. Just solid dude. Throws hard, throws well. Relievers tend to be a little bit interchangeable in this game, obviously. A guy like Kyle Finnegan is fine. I don't mind the 45 control when it comes with a fastball like that. He still throws hard too. So that is nice to see. So that's everybody I've offered contracts to. Of course, there's also Jake Marisnik, my backup outfielder. Does he have infield ratings? No. So yeah, not looking too bad on the free agents so far. I want to sign some more pitchers. I need pitchers who have stamina and a lot of pitches. So somebody like Chris Bassett, he wants $9 million, and that's not really what I want to pay my long relief man. This is the guy I would want if I could get him. So let me go ahead and offer him 1 year, and I'm going to lowball him. Let's see what he feels about $6.5 million. Okay. Well, that'll get him maybe talking to us. So we can come back to Chris Bassett later on in maybe in December. Michael Lorenzen is not expensive, but he also is probably falling apart a little too much for us. Nick Martinez is looking a little better. I mean, the low stuff, the lower velo with the extreme fly ball tendencies, I think this could fall apart. At $8 million, I don't think I want to gamble on that. Although, again, somebody I'd love to have on the team. We looked at Stroman earlier. He's going down the tubes. And we get into the 5-pitch guys. You get like a Patrick Corbin. This is not as bad as it looks. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call too. But $2.6 million is a much better price. Joe Kelly is interesting. He doesn't have a lot of stamina, but he throws hard. He doesn't want a lot of money. He is 37. I don't know. Joe Kelly's looking pretty good, honestly. Miles Michaelis. Yeah, degrading just a little too much for me. And we're almost out of 5-pitch guys. Okay, there's a few more. Martin Perez. This is another profile that looks terrible, but it's actually not that bad. The low control I don't love. The movement's fine. None of his pitches are very good. He's an innings eater. Yeah, that would be maybe okay, but $6 million a year is a little steep on that. No, thank you. Drew Rucinski. He doesn't want any money at all. Okay, I like this. Okay, I think that may have made up our minds for us. Let's see. So he was in the KBO forever. Pitched great. Came over. Hasn't really had much of a chance. 18 innings. Gosh, do we take a chance on this guy? I think what we do is we get a scouting report on him. Take one more look at Rucinski. I mean, most of these scouting reports are accurate already, even though they're only average or high. But yeah, I want one more peek at Rucinski before I commit to that. Noah Syndergaard is, his pitches are falling off a little too much for me. His hold runners is very bad. Spencer Turnbull. Okay, this is solid, and he only wants 1.8. Okay, we're going to get a scout off on him. Make sure that we're seeing the truth on him, because if we are, we're just picking him right up. And that's the end of the 5-pitch guys. So let's go ahead and sort back by potential. I'm looking for somebody without too high a demand who still throws hard. And here, let's do all relievers. So who did I pass up in the 3-star guys? They're all expensive except for Dylan Floro, who's not amazing. I just don't know if I want to commit this kind of money to a very replaceable kind of reliever. Tyler Rogers wants way too much. See, this is the problem. So $9 million is not that bad for this guy, for Matt Strom. He's a lefty. I don't need a lefty, so we're going to pass up on him. Okay, this isn't the worst I've ever seen. He's durable. Ryan Brazier, huh? Not familiar with his work. Good enough movement control. Yeah, let's get a scout off on him. And Andrew Chafin, no. We've already looked at Luis Garcia before. He's no good. Trevor Gott, not really. Okay, so we do have some scouting coming in. We're gonna see if these offers shake out. See how much money we have left. Right now, after everything we've committed, we've still got about $17 million in the bank, which is a pretty sweet spot to be. So anything that doesn't get used up here, I'm going to add to my development and scouting budgets. And expansion is already upon us. So I've gone ahead and submitted my protection list. It's very generous at 25, so I can protect literally everybody I care about. And we're going to do that. And we also protected a couple of younger guys with some potential. So we shouldn't be losing anybody important, which is nice. The expansion draft is going a little strangely. They're trading back and forth, picking almost nothing but pitchers. Memphis did pick up catcher Henry Davis, who, if you saw my last playthrough, is one of the only very good catchers with a terrible personality. And so I am forever attached to Henry Davis. But only him and, strangely, Joey Loperfido. Everybody else that's been picked has been a pitcher. Good first pick, Bobby Miller, very solid, even though he's degraded just a little bit due to the live start. He is still I think he's still the highest value younger guy who's extremely easy to get because he's always in the Rule 5. He's always pretty easy to trade for. Robert Gasser was first pick for Austin. Shane Baz, Joey Cantillo. These are decent enough picks. Took a while for Alex Vesia to go. He was the highest value player in the draft by far. I mean, great pitcher. The Dodgers just couldn't hold on to him for some reason. But he was the only player I saw who absolutely should not have been in there. So the AI did a pretty decent job of protecting its players this year. But as you can see, it's all pitchers. So not a whole lot of interesting hitters in there. So we're going to go ahead and sim through the rest of this. It's going to be a fairly uninteresting expansion draft. And I don't expect either team to be competitive for quite a while. A couple scouting reports came back, and with the newer teams entering the market, I did just want to get those free agent offers out as quick as I could. So it's December 1st, we've offered Ryan Brazier 1 year $3.25 million, which is a little bit of a stretch. He was asking for 4.2. I don't know how that's going to work out, but he'd be a good guy to have around. And then Drew Rucinski only wanted $1 million, and his scouting report came back, said he was just as good as we thought he was. And so we're doing a year of Drew Rucinski. Spencer Turnbull's scouting report also came back positive, in my opinion. He's kind of borderline. He's going to walk a lot of guys, but I do need guys with stamina. I'm going to need replacement pitchers. So $3 million is not too bad a demand. I'm going to see if he'll take significantly less. A lot of these older players will. Yeah, he'll take 2.4. So unless there's competition for Turnbull, we'll be picking him up fairly cheap. And that leaves us about $10 million to work with. And it looks like we're not going to be able to put much into our scouting or development budgets, but that is okay. We will at least be able to field a team, if only barely. Unfortunately, there is a lot of interest in Miguel Rojas. So we're going to have to knock one out of the park with him. So he wants $9.3 million. We got 19. We've got all our offers out right now. I think we got to go for it. I think we've got to... boy, this is a tough one. I think we have to significantly exceed his demand. I don't know if this is going to be enough to get Miggy. This is bad. You know what? We're committing to him. $11.5 million. And that might even get driven up. Who knows? But these free agency contracts can sometimes spiral way out of control. So I want to try to get out ahead of this one, leaving us about $7.7 million. Hopefully that one works out because we really need him. Disastrous news. We are getting absolutely boned in free agency right now. Even Ryan Brazier, who wanted $3.4 million, his price is being driven up. David Robertson, the 40-year-old, who now he wants 3.7. He only wanted a couple million before. I don't know. It's going to be tough. We'll see if we can get Miguel Rojas. If we can't get him, I do not know what we're going to do. I have gone ahead and offered Nick Ahmed as my backup choice. Offering him about $1.8 million to come play for us for 1 year. He's got the great ratings, so he's not going to be contributing at all on offense. He'll be very lucky if he breaks even on WAR. But if we have to do it, it's good to have a really, really good shortstop. It doesn't hurt you too bad as a team. But we do really need Miguel Rojas, so I'm going to go take another swing at him. Well, bad news. I offered Miguel Rojas $15 million to play next year, and now his contract is just getting absolutely obscene. There is no way I can pay $18 million for this player. And that is really unfortunate because I thought he was going to be like the key piece to our team. So I will give it one more try. I'm going to offer him a ridiculous amount of money in the first year and hope that that just gets him to sign. Cross our fingers. So here's the strategy to try to get Miggy. I don't think he's going to be starting for us. I'm going to offer him $19.5 million and then $13 million in his second year. And what I think this is going to do is drive his price up. And I think whatever team finally picks him up in the end is going to shop him to us. And I think we're going to get him cheap sometime in the middle of next year because there will definitely be buyer's remorse on this contract. Okay, let's do 19 and 13. Let's go ahead and submit that. I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's going to get driven up over 20 million or maybe like 16, 17 million for a team he really wants to play with. And we'll just look to pick up Miggy later on in the year. I was waiting for the first completely psychotic trade of the offseason, and we found it. Atlanta has traded for Tommy Edman, who, don't get me wrong, love some Tommy Edman. He's one of my very favorite players. The Dodgers are getting Michael Harris. Arguably the premier center fielder in this game. And he's on a brilliant contract. He's the best value center fielder by far, with one possible contender in Brenton Doyle. And they're also giving up Dylan Lee, who isn't great, but he's not that bad. So yeah, Braves have lost their mind. We're going to go ahead and make a quick salary dump. Jorge Soler is making $13 million this year. And while he still has a little bit of power, he's got absolutely no defense, and so he's got very little utility to us. And we can pick up Seth Lugo, who is, it's not the worst player in the world. And he qualifies for the team. He's 36. His ratings are decent enough. And yeah, they're gonna hold 60% of his salary. At the end of the day, we're improving by $7 million making this deal. So that's a good one for us. Some great news for us, the Braves are continuing to lose their mind, and they want to get rid of Raisel Iglesias, who they're probably shopping him because they know something we don't know about his scouting. But it can't be much worse than this. If he loses a tick of velo and loses, a couple points in stuff or movement, that's fine. That's still a guy who might even be my closer. And we can improve our financial situation. They want one of our relievers, so unfortunately we would have to give up Danny Colombe and then a prospect that I don't really care about, who's actually kind of decent. And yeah, I see no reason not to make this deal. I mean, he's 36, Iglesias is 35, so yeah, this is fantastic. I'll see if I can work this for just a little bit more value. Do they have anybody in AAA? Let's see. How are these guys looking? Wander Suero, not interested. 2 pitches, not interested in that. This is a little better. Let's see if they'll throw in Vizcaíno here. They won't. What do they want? They want a lot. Okay, so it looks like they're kind of maxed out on what they're willing to do. And yeah, let's go ahead and complete this because this is a steal. And with that deal, we have lost a lefty. So I'm thinking Martin Perez is looking pretty decent. So we might go ahead and offer him. He does have a lot of stamina, which is good, but it's not absolutely critical that we get a high stamina pitcher. Andy Otero is just a little weak. Taylor Rogers is a lefty. What does he want? Okay. I don't know, guys. This is he's been pitching pretty good. That's tough. Has he actually fallen off, I wonder? Let's go ahead and get a scouting report on Taylor Rogers. And then Patrick Corbin we looked at before. Derek Holland, 39. I don't want a lot of 39-year-olds. Joe Mantiply, Jose Quintana. Quintana's a little weak right now. Mantiply, his velo is just too low, unfortunately. Justin Wilson, he's 38. Fallen off a bit. Come on, I need another lefty. Tim Hill, what are you looking like? Not good. Andrew Chafin, we've looked at before. Drew Smiley, how are you looking these days? Not the worst, so you may be worth it. Let's get a scouting report on you. And any Romero? Nah. Not enough green ratings up top there for my liking. And Alex Wood, let's check him out. Probably not, but let's go ahead and get a scouting report on Alex Wood. I would like to avoid the super expensive guys. I mean, if we're going for a lefty, we could obviously try to pick up Hobie Milner. He's $8.4 million, though. That's a little above our budget. We'd have to wait till later on in free agency, see if he's still around. Can't sign Matsy. He's $12 million. But we do have some options. So am I getting a report on... Let's get a report on Martin Perez as well. And we'll come back once we have those scouting reports. And hopefully those players are still available. And it's Rule 5 draft time. I don't have a whole lot of guys that I would want to protect here. But possibly somebody like Denzer Guzman gets picked up. I think the Rule 5 draft pool is going to be pretty stout in this first year. And so I don't anticipate losing anybody super important. The one player I did protect was Dixon Machado, because he's going to be coming up to our team at some point next year, at least as a backup, a call up for an injury, something like that. But the rest of these guys, I'm just going to let it go. We're going to go check out the Rule 5 draft and see what kind of players are available. So if I sort reverse by age here, come on. Okay, we do have one potential dude. He's making $1.3 million. This is great. Angels have a pretty good priority. So yeah, let's go ahead and get in there and try to get him. Wow, there's some interesting players in here. If someone's willing to eat a guy like this on their roster all year, they could end up with one heck of a good prospect. I always like to pick up guys like David Festa. Yes, there are some decent players in here. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay, we're going to auto draft until it's time for us. And then we're going to sort by pitchers. Let's just go all pitchers. And by age. And go ahead and scroll down to see if there's any other 2.5-star guys. So Dylan Covey, we'll have to come back to him. Joely Rodriguez. Jose De Leon, is he... No, August 7th is his birthday, so it's going to be a while before he's available. I don't know who Yandel Gustave is, but he is an October baby, so he's not for us. Okay, let's go ahead and snag Huascar Brazoban. He's okay. I like the velo, and I like the fact that he's a pitcher and that he doesn't cost much. So let's take him. And we're going to auto draft until our next turn. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay, Dylan Covey's still available. I don't like him. How's he been throwing? He hasn't been getting a whole lot of action out there, and he's not pitching all that well necessarily. He's fragile. Yeah, that's okay. I think we can pass on Dylan Covey. Let's try out the batters. Adam Duvall on a minor league contract. Gosh, can we afford to pass up this? What are his ratings? Okay, so he can play third base, he can play first base, and he can play the outfield positions. Man, that's a tough one. So I can't just like waive him though. He would have to stay on the roster, and that may not be what I'm looking for. Mark Hanna, not interested. Yasiel Puig. We could pick him up. It would be fun. He would destroy our clubhouse morale. but I do love me some Puig. Imagine him in right field kicking Mike Trout out of that role. I think the two would fight. I just get that feeling. There would be blood. Okay. Let's see who else is available. Mitch Haniger. He's looking okay, but again, I'm pretty strong in the outfield right now. I don't really need dudes out there. Tim LeCastro. How's your infield? It's not quite good enough. Should I pick him up as my backup, though? I do have a decent choice for a backup outfielder already, and I think Jake Marisnick was his name. Or Marcinick. Interesting decision. I mean, not having an arm is bad. But the 50 center field is not bad. And the fact that he has a little more utility. I'm thinking in terms of if I get injuries, I need lots of very flexible guys. And LeCastro just might be that guy. I'm leaning toward picking up LeCastro. Actually, wait, when does he turn 34? Oh, not until July. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Joey Meneses. Nope, May 6th. That's too late in the year. Daniel Vogelbach. That would be fun, but he just turned 33. Okay, now we're getting into the younger guys. So, close but no cigar. I'm not going to pick up any of these players unless Carlos Perez has somehow magically gotten better. Nope. One more little look at Adam Duvall. So with these ratings, gosh, that is so close though. Let me see let me double check the guys I've offered. I mean, because we're getting like Colton Wong, who, let's face it, is just better. We're looking to pick up Adam Frazier, who I think is maybe just a better version of Duvall. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and pass on that. And yeah, I consider this a huge success because I didn't think we'd actually pick anybody up. So we're going to go ahead and skip through all these. It's going to be probably 5-6 rounds. And we'll see if anybody super interesting gets picked up. It looks like the strongest pickup was by the Philadelphia Phillies, picking up Pedro Leon. And he's a great center fielder. More of a great backup outfielder, to be honest. But your backup outfielders with 60 power and great defense, this is a super, super high-value player, in my opinion. It's December 26th, and we finally had one of our free agent offers signed. Michael A. Taylor takes that $8.5 million per year. Perfect. I love that he is now my center fielder. Drew Rucinski is going to sign. We got him for $1 million. He may sit in AAA. He may be on the roster or on the Major League team. We're not sure. So updates to the strength and conditioning programs. Trout frustrated. I hope that doesn't turn out poor. That would be really bad. Giancarlo Stanton is on track. And Mike Tauchman is excelling. Travis d'Arnaud is struggling, which is okay, I guess. Yeah, as long as we don't get a super poor result, then that is all good. Kyle Finnegan, Adam Frazier, Sean Armstrong, Colton Wong, and Jake Marisnick have all inked their deals. So good deal. The team is starting to come together. Let's get everybody over on the roster. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 13 pitchers, and they're all acceptable quality. I would like another lefty over here in the bullpen, but still looking decent enough. And we still don't have our shortstop, unfortunately. I hope a guy like Colton Wong doesn't have to come and be our starting shortstop. That would be a little on the rough side. But we've got Frazier, Wong, LeCastro, Marisnick, and those are going to be our options for backing up. We're going to have 3 of those be our backup players. Not sure which ones just yet. And we are still waiting on the big news at shortstop. Well, it's kind of good news and bad news. Miguel Rojas will play baseball for us, but we're going to pay him $19 million next year to do it. The only saving grace is that he's only going to be $13 million next year. You know, I was the fish. I'm the one who got played. I thought I was playing the other teams by driving his price up so I could snag him cheaper during the regular season. Nope, I'm the one who's going to have buyer's remorse. But on the other hand, I am going to have a starting shortstop, and that might just be more important. So if there is any position to totally mark out for, it's going to be shortstop. No doubt about it. So let's get Rojas in there. We have our starters. Mike Trout in right, Michael Taylor in center, Mike Tauchman in left. He's had a little bit of regression. Not good. Miguel Rojas at short, Marcus Semien at second, Jose Altuve at first, Nolan Arenado at third, Giancarlo Stanton at DH, and some combination of Tom Murphy, Travis d'Arnaud, and Kyle Higashioka behind the plate. And with our financial situation in ruins, we are going to end this part. This was a tough free agency, man. We have managed to... We got some more offers out there for a couple other pitchers, but I'm not going to... Those are all kind of interchangeable relievers. Not going to worry about that too much. But yeah, we are looking to field the team. It's going to be maybe a 500 team. If we play 500 baseball next year, that would be awesome. If we get to the playoffs, I'm going to lose my mind. So we're going to finish up the off season. We're going to do spring training. We're going to get those short programs in on the development lab, see how the strength and conditioning programs turned out, and then we will be ready to start our first regular season. So I hope you will join me for that. And for the Los Angeles Codgers, we are signing off. So long and take care.